Everybody, I'm just thinking. So let's do a little exercise on. Let's do a little exercise on how to deconstruct a statement, right? From questions, you know. Everybody's going to write a statement which you consider true. Maybe not absolutely true, but quite true. Something you think, yeah, this is. Yes.
You have more paper?
Yeah. Tu restes là? Okay. You have to write a statement which you consider true. True. A statement which you consider true. Une affirmation que tu considères. Right? Now, please make it readable because you're going to have to give it to your neighbor.
You have to give it?
Yeah, after you want to give it to your neighbor. Make it readable. And on some paper you can give to your neighbor.
Separate piece of paper?
Whatever. Do however you want. But you have to, yes, it's better on a separate piece of paper actually, yeah. Doesn't have to be a big sheet. A true statement. Okay? When you're finished, put your pen down. Then you good? Anything.
No, nothing is true.
Nothing is true. Well, anything. I'm sure a lot of things you state every day, you know. Like I'm the most wonderful woman in the world, for example. You can write, I am the most wonderful woman in the world. You like that one? Yes. Hoedekie, you done it? You can write, I'm the worst woman in the world all day, you know?
I was thinking.
I was thinking. Try to make it a bit universal, but, you know, so they can interest other people. Something you think in society is, you know, okay. Good? Yes? Okay, now, next step, you're going to pass that paper to your right-hand neighbor. Your right-hand neighbor, it will cross on the other side.
You should write one, maybe.
I told her, she's late, so why don't you work with Nelson then?
Yes.
You guys will work together, don't worry. Just look at it. What are you doing? I need your paper. Okay. Earth is run, yeah? Okay. So, now, next step. Hello? Please, next step. First, check if you can read. If you cannot read what's written, and somebody who's Syriac letters or something, check with your neighbor. Okay, make sure you can read it. Everybody can read what he has? Okay, next time. You're going to have to write 3 questions, right? 3 questions that are supposed to deconstruct, what the other person told you, right? But it's a question this time. Watch it, it's not a criticism, it's a question. People confused a lot. Without a criticism, you state. That's a question. 3 questions. Why? Because the other person will have to answer the question. And after answering 3 questions, he has to realize that what he said is not true, right? But with questions, right? So you have to imagine what he will answer. Either 3 separate questions, it can be a sequence. It's like a questioning strategy where you will make the person realize that there's a problem.
On the same.
On the same sheet, yes, okay? All right, before you start, somebody did not understand, you raise your hand. Okay, so write down the 3 questions and make it readable, huh? Because he's going to have to read it. You guys can do it together, Is it ready or not yet? When you're finished, put your pen down. You just got in? You just arrived, right? You just arrived? You just came in?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I propose work with Hoedekie. Sit with Hoedekie, sit with her. She will explain you what they're doing, et elle va collaborer avec toi. D'accord? Sur la même truc. When you finish your 3 questions, put the pen down. Nelson, did you write 3 questions or are you going to have a problem?
I haven't. But,
Well, we'll start picking up the ones who... Actually, the people that have finished your 3 questions, just give it back to the person, to the author, and you can start working on it, okay? You girls heard? These 2 girls. You sure you want to sit together? Start working on the question. Have you finished? No? So the ones who have your questions, please start answering the questions, right? On the same sheet still. You have written no question, poor Ekel. Huh? Man. Okay, why don't you do some coaching with Ahmed? Look how quick he is. I don't know if you wrote anything smart, but...
What I'm going to.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have finished, conclude if the person made you change your mind or not. Yes? You don't say, yes, this was efficient, wow, I discovered, or wow, come on, this is peanuts, you know. Alright? You give? You have yours?
No.
Who was doing yours? Take care. Have you? No. You have not written your questions yet.
I didn't write any questions.
You did not write any questions.
Yeah.
But you have to write 3 questions.
But I didn't find.
You have written 3 questions? Tell you what, why don't you come help poor Hoedekie? He's been happy. Be patient with him, you know? Be nice. He's a good guy. He sits a bit slow. Well, he didn't write questions. Why are you guys taking the sheet? Oh, I see what you want to do, because you haven't written questions. You just wrote to her, and that's all that statement, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I prefer that he'll do it to you. Or let's do it this way. Yeah. You can start. Come help him. He needs more help than both of them, okay? Nice. She's gonna help him. Okay? So that you can start answering. Ah, but you don't know that. You have what? You need one more. And whose statement is it? Yours? Yeah, so I'm trying to do it. Does anybody need help as a hard time to write questions? No? Nelson, you have done?
I have just one.
You having a hard time?
A little bit.
You need help?
Yes.
Whose statement is it?
It's I think Silke's.
Okay, so help him finish his questions first.
Everything is impermanent.
No, but don't do it by yourself. Yes. Discuss with him, coach him, see? Discuss it.
We have to discuss it.
No, for people, some people, did you write your questions? Yes, you're smart.
So what I also
It's for people who can't. You're not a
some
handicap.
questions that
Happy?
will
For once.
conclude that there is something
So
permanent.
if you have your questions, start answering them.
Permanent, then we're done.
All right. You finished?
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Oh, you're waiting. You're
Can
finished.
you write it?
You're thinking.
I will just saying for you.
How many questions do you guys have?
I have one already.
Difficult?
Yes, if you say, let's put it this way, is impermanence part of everything? Because if she says yes, impermanence is part of everything, then impermanence
It's important.
But the people, no, you guys have your questions, right?
that's a,
The ones who talk because they need help. So you guys have your questions. I prefer you don't talk, okay?
let's check once again. Impermanence is impermanent.
You're patient. But you can look at hers in the meantime if you want to.
And if she would answer
And
you,
if impermanence
Oh, you
is
finished?
impermanent, that means that at some
Yes.
sometime impermanence will become permanent.
Discuss it with her.
Because impermanence can
Oh,
change,
okay,
change
so
to
yeah,
permanent.
yeah.
So
And look with her.
can become permanent, and then there's something permanent.
And can you ask her if she would just use?
If you have an idea, you can tell
She
her.
would ask if she says no.
Is impermanence.
Permanence is part.
If you guys are waiting, okay, make your conclusion. You have answered the questions?
No,
Your
it has to be
conclusion. You have made your
impermanent.
Yeah, because
conclusion?
we need to. Yeah.
Yes?
my mind.
Well, did it change your mind? No, it was not
Part of
efficient.
everything,
Whatever
she
you
says
think.
yes or
This
no.
was good, efficient, not efficient.
No.
Maybe change my mind. No, it doesn't
No,
change
then-
anything. You know?
What is everything? Then we come to. And why? What is the reason behind the permanence not to be part of
How
everything?
many questions you guys have? Still one?
But if yes, most probably it's
Okay,
yes,
one.
because everything is like
Okay.
if you read all
You
included.
have a second one?
So if it's yes,
Not yet.
then we
Okay, Ahmed,
can
come
say
help
that
these guys. You have a hard time.
Can we say
The big question.
that impermanent?
Who has not finished the list of questions? Raise your hand. How many you have now?
We're done.
You done?
Just writing
Yeah.
it down.
Okay, good, good.
Let me say the permanent.
Yeah, and then
If it is so,
So, I started French
it is so, then impermanence can change
After that,
and become permanent.
he gave me demonstration.
okay. So we've been introducing
If she answers no, then impermanence is not a part of it.
Have you finished 3 questions or no?
Oh yeah, we have.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, then just give it to her, poor girl, she's getting bored, okay? And now you have your questions? No, you're still waiting.
No.
You have yours,
Yeah.
you answer, and you're just waiting?
Check the writing.
How many
Yeah,
questions
I
you guys have? Still, how many? 1? After that, you can have them? Oh my God. Oh, you have questions? No? You have questions? You have to convince them? Tell you what, just write questions. It's not convincing, it's you have a question. This guy's waiting.
Whoa, can you?
Do you use Cyrillic letters?
No, but
Almost.
close to that.
His own Cyrillic letters.
Is impermanence part
Incomprehensible. The people have finished. If you want, while waiting, look at your neighbor. See what you think about it. If you know, if he's rigid, not rigid, you can look. If you have finished, just show it like that. Yes.
The answer is no, I thought
But if the answer is no to the question, what's the why?
Yes, this way you have time to wake up because it's not awake. But
If it is so, then
okay, that's right now. Yes.
you helped him because he couldn't have come up with this.
Don't forget your conclusion, huh? If made you change your mind or not.
yeah.
Each of you 2 guys, why don't you go sit with somebody to see? Sit, look with her, and you look, pay attention to what they're doing. For now. Okay, you got it? Stop discussing. All right?
If you want to say it's perfect, you can say
Then it's okay. Answer your question. You have your 3 questions? Yes. No, but you have to answer? Yes. Okay, so then Ahmed, what you can do is explain to what you've been doing to Princess here. Yeah, sure, it's a challenge, you know?
This is what I wrote, and that
You have finished answering your 3 questions? Oh, you have not written the question.
She gave her question to us, and I gave it to him. You wrote question, you come back, and now we have to look for one
Who
more
gave you
question.
questions? Questions?
You've
answered your question. Yeah, so she can look at it. You made your conclusion? Whether she changed your mind or not? Yes, it made me change my mind, blah, blah, blah.
Did you change your mind
No,
by
wait.
my question?
No, no, wait.
These blue statement
is not.
Okay, who has finished the whole process? Raise your hand. Okay, so we give one more minute, and it doesn't matter if you have not finished, too bad, but okay, one more minute, then we start the discussion.
I write now an answer to this question.
Yeah, you write answers to the 3 questions, and you conclude if it means you change your mind or no. Okay, so let's start. Stop talking to your neighbor. Hello. Let's look. Now, who has not changed his mind because of the questions? Who said, no, this does not make me change my mind? Yes? Okay, let's examine yours. Okay? It's okay, you have not finished. Don't worry.
I'm finished.
Each step is not so... Alright, so now each step is just what you can think. After you can look and maybe you will hear about it. So, first of all, you're going to tell us what is the initial statement.
The initial statement is A is not B.
A is not B. Wow. Okay. And who questioned you? Alright. Okay. So let's examine the first question.
First question is what identifies A and B?
What identifies A and B?
Yeah.
Do you consider this question clear or no?
It's clear, yeah.
What is it asking?
It's asking like what does A stand for or represent and what's B represented.
Okay. You're good? That's what you wanted? Okay, fine. Now, next step. But wait, Peter's coming. I have to tell him to go, get out, go away. Hello, Peter. How are you? But you're in the wrong place. Because you're supposed to do a workshop. If they have not taken your place because you were not there, at 9 o'clock you were supposed to start a workshop over there. But physically you have not.
No, so I go there.
Yes, but maybe somebody is usurpator saying he's Peter doing the workshop over there.
Good. Yeah, I'll be observed
They
the status.
tell
What?
they can't put his card over there.
Oh yes, yeah, your car is here.
Oh yeah, I cannot go by car.
Yeah, leave it here.
Okay,
Okay?
enjoy.
Good luck with your twin.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, all right? By the way, so we'll go step by step. If anybody has a problem with what's going on, just don't hesitate, right? For trying to check what the meaning of the question is. She agrees, okay. So, did you answer that?
Yes.
What did you answer?
That doesn't matter.
That it doesn't matter. All right. Do you consider that by saying that she answered your question?
No.
No. Why not?
I don't know why she didn't answer. Oh, why she didn't?
Wow, I think this morning, for some reason, no.
She didn't tell me what A represents or what B represents.
Yes, right. And did you notice, do you get this in life? You know, you ask somebody a question, and they answer you, it doesn't matter. You ever seen this?
Yes.
Happens in Flanders too? No, sorry, in
Yeah,
Holland?
yeah.
Yes, huh? And what do you think is going on in the head of people when they tell you such a thing?
They don't know how to answer.
They don't know how to answer. Is it possible people don't know how to answer something? They get rid of it by saying it doesn't matter. Right?
That's
Yes,
possible,
yes. You know? Like, do you love me? Well, it doesn't matter. Love is always, I like to, love is always an interesting context to look at questions and answers, right? Because you expect commitment in general when you get older and you see the funny stuff. So is it true you don't know how to answer her? Or it's not true? Just if it's true or not true.
No,
It's not true. So therefore you could answer that.
I could.
But look how funny. You could answer it, but this poor girl, you know, I don't know if it's because she's from Holland, you told her, I'm going to answer you. Even I don't know, there's a little river here that makes a big difference for me, or a little religious thing. So you tell her, I won't answer you. You know, fuck you with your questions. Now when you're telling her, right?
Yeah.
Oh, why do you such a thing? She's a nice girl. She grew up in the countryside with the cows and everything. She speak a bit loud, I agree with you. When she's someplace, you hear her. I agree. Slightly irritating, but why do you send her away like that? I think it doesn't matter if you could answer. Why? You see? But that's funny because we have these sort of, how can I say this, instinctive things we do. And sometimes say, wait a minute, don't worry, you know, I don't want to traumatize you. You know, the first one knows the last will do such a thing, right? But you see, because you could have said something, it's like when people don't answer my questions, you know? And I said, well, you could have just pity on me, you know, I know my questions are stupid because you poor Oscar, you know, he wants yes or no, just give it to him, right? Why, if you could answer, you didn't give it to her?
Because answering the question was not important.
No, that's we got. But that's not. But suppose she asked you, what day is it today? Right? Suppose she asked you that.
Mm-hmm.
Could you answer, today's Saturday?
I can.
Yeah. So you see? But suppose the person is saying, today's Saturday. Well, okay, I don't see the connection with the question, but so what, you know? What's the difference? Okay, today's Saturday. And saying, well, who cares? What is the difference, you think? No, don't look at the sheet. It's today's Saturday, it's not written. What does it show by the person saying, well, who cares, it's not important? What does it show?
That you avoid.
That you avoid, yeah? Yeah? And why would someone avoid?
Because she doesn't know.
Okay, so you agree with her. You hide your ignorance by avoidance, is that it? Well, that's not it.
No.
Well, then why didn't you just have pity on her as a poor Dutch girl from the countryside? You know, I'll give it to her. Why you didn't do it?
Because A didn't represent something specific.
So did she ask you that? Did you distinguish A and B in your initial sentence?
Yes.
So therefore, are they specific? Since you distinguished them.
Yes.
And again, I ask you again, why you didn't answer her? Or is it some kind of natural rigidity with other people's question?
Yes.
That's what it is. You know, you have a broomstick in your back, right?
Yes.
I think that's possible. Some people go around with funny equipment, you know. You know, some have umbrellas in their head, you know this, you know. You know, as soon as you think, oh, they put you see this people in the, I work a lot with educators, right? And people, as soon as they're a little bit high up in the administration, they have what we call the umbrella, you know. You ask them anything, they put up the umbrella. Anything just to not take any risk, you know, so they, to be covered. What, you have a problem?
Yes.
What's going on? Okay, a lot of things going on. Okay, fine, no problem. Turmoil, let's start. You know, so it's funny, just a little thing and boom. Okay, fine, no, don't worry. That's life, yes. So, so well, suppose could you answer her or?
I can.
You can, right? So why don't you write somewhere else there, just for fun. Why don't you write, tell us, what could you write?
I could write A is the chair on which I'm sitting, and B is the moon.
Okay, so what was the question?
A is not B.
Okay, so
no.
write this, write your answer, write it so we can use it. Tell us when you have written it. Read us the question and the answer now.
What identifies A and B?
Answer.
A is the chair I'm sitting on, and B is the moon.
Silke, do you consider now she has answered you or still not? What is Bram Nelson?
I think it's Jacoba, or no, that's it.
Nelson, if we can help you, just don't hesitate. We'll be happy to do it. So, he's busy with all the equipment, so he does it. So, do you consider she answered you or no?
No,
No. What did she do?
she gave an example.
She gave an example. Did you give an example?
No.
Well, okay, so that the essence of A and B is to be chair and moon, right? So did you give an example?
Yes.
Ah, you have a hard time this morning, eh? So, but did she ask you for an example?
No.
No. Funny?
No.
You see? Funny, yeah? But see, now, besides the fact of having fun torturing if, you know, the whole point is to see again, because what happens here, it's not if, it's a regular thing. First of all, I get rid of it, say, who cares? Second try, I do something else that the person wants. This is very typical, right? You know, this, see? So, last try, can you answer her question?
Yes.
What would you answer?
A can be everything that is not B.
Can you repeat? A what? A?
A can be.
Well, just stop now. Just stop. What is she asking you? Repeat. Read the question.
What identifies A and B?
Just watch. We're gonna write. This is too beautiful. What? Who's laughing? Why are you so happy? The two of them. Oh, come on! You're sitting in the wrong place. I told you. These are not your friends.
No, yeah.
There's
It
this
was funny.
people. What?
She was telling her you made it hard on yourself by putting this
A
statement.
is not B, so abstract. It's so funny.
Don't express yourself, people. What identifies B and B? And you started A can be, right?
Mm-hmm.
A can be. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Just that. See, again, for people, I insist on the structures, right? Structure, yes. So that's what, we don't care the rest of the sentence, is the structure. Who sees the problem already in this answer? Raise your hand. Look around, ask someone, where is the problem?
Show me the problem.
The answer of what A can be doesn't give the criteria of A, which is the question.
Why not? What's the problem? Well, you don't know.
I know.
You know.
Because criteria is something universal for A, and can be is one of possibilities. This is example again.
So she's drawing us toward one possibility instead of.
Giving the universal criteria for definition.
Do you agree with that or no?
I don't know.
You don't understand it.
I don't understand.
Okay. Who else is a good pedagogue? Who is a good pedagogue here? They can explain the problem to if. Raise your hand. Check somebody else if. Lena?
The question is what it is exactly, and the answer is about possibility, about it can be, I can be not. You see?
Okay. So she's asked for what would be the word here? Because see, it's nice. For the can you gave a concept, possibility, right? But what identifies A and B? Are we asking for a possibility or no?
No.
What would be the concept here?
I don't know. It's
If you don't know, don't see. When you don't know, don't say I don't know, blah blah blah. I don't know. Period. Doom. You know. Otherwise, you do like people do in southern France. You know the way to not say I don't know, but let me explain. You don't know. You don't know. You know. Just don't add things. So you don't know, right? So you conceptualize it can be possibility, but you don't know what is asked. Who knows what would be the concept of what is asked? Ask someone what's the concept.
General.
General what?
The question is general and the answer is concrete.
Can you say that again?
The
No, we want the difference between, what's the concept? See, if there's a discrepancy between an answer and the questions, it means that there's a concept here, and a concept here, and they're not the same. For example, what time is it? Today is Saturday. Question, concept is time. Answer, concept is date. Not the same. Okay?
Yes.
Just like that. What's here? The concept is possibility. You agree?
Yes.
Yes? What's the concept here? What the others? Patience. If you don't know, you don't know. Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yes.
To conceptualize is difficult. Who knows what the concept is here? Raise your hand. Ask somebody else.
Alexei.
The concept is fact.
Fact. See, so she wants a fact, right? And she gives a possibility. That's your idea?
Yes.
Who agrees that's the concept? Raise your hand. Who think that's not it? Raise your hand. Who doesn't know? Raise your hand. All right. Who else wants to give it a try? Yeah, go ahead.
Identity.
Identity,
Possibility.
possibility. Who agrees with that? This is identity, this okay, this one goes. Do you understand the difference identity and possibility? Yes? Will you ask for the identity of A and B?
Yes.
Did you write about a possibility?
Yes.
So again, a particular case.
Yes.
Again, an example.
Yeah.
Funny.
No.
How come it's so difficult?
Because I'm stupid.
Okay. Now, in general, people tell you they're stupid. Do you believe them?
Oscar, please.
Did I do something wrong?
Yes.
What did I do wrong? No, tell me. I have to know. What did I do wrong?
Being Oscar too much.
Okay. I have good news for you. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
It's finished.
It's finished. And with a little bit of luck, you know what's going to happen? You'll never see me again. The rest of your life. So just hang on tight. Yes, but people don't believe me when I say that. So, all right. So, do you have a hard time then? Okay, so for you it's difficult to distinguish A and B? And by the way, a constant I would add here as well as essence, right? You want the essence, you want identity, you want really what is the hard core of A and B, right? And what's interesting for you, I mean, Joe, you say something, and somebody comes, the foreigner, as would say Plato, foreigner, who takes your statement, and he wants you to, remember the concept I used the first day, logon didonai, do you remember it? To account for. She says, now, you told me that. Now, you account for it. And like many people, to account for our own statement, realize, wow, we have a hard time. Yeah? That's the whole, that's the whole point. Yeah? So, you need help on this one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Who can help if and answer the question of Silke? Raise your hand. You can help her. You don't have many helpers. Yes, Yolanda's raised. Okay, you have a few. Wait. Raise your hand if you can help her and answer the question. Three. No more. Choose.
A is everything that is not B.
A is everything that is not B. Do you think she's gave you an answer or not?
She gave me an answer.
So that would be okay. Yeah?
No.
No. Why not? Tell you what, give me your initial statement.
Yeah, my initial statement was A is not B.
A is not B. Maybe that's going to help you. Why do you consider that she knew the job, this girl? Why not? She knows now, but do you know? You don't know.
Because A cannot be everything at the same time.
A cannot be everything at the same time. A cannot be everything at the same time. You think that's clear?
No.
Okay. Well, ask her why it's a problem, Grant. Ask her.
Yeah, go back.
I repeated the first. It was tautology.
She repeated your initial statement.
Yes.
You realize?
Yep.
Therefore, and that, by the way, that's a very interesting problem. You know, people say something. You ask them why, blah, 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 and what do? They repeat the initial statement. It's what I call, indirect tautology. And you can ask them anything, you know those people? Whatever you ask them, they'll just repeat you the initial statement. If you notice this, they're in the loop, right? It's very classic. Yeah? You've seen it, huh? They're stuck, and they keep repeating the same thing. You know, whatever you ask them. You're like a child. I want to go there. So ask him, why do you want to go there? I want to go there. But couldn't you go somewhere else? I want to go there. You know, blah, blah. I want to go there. We've all seen this, right? Yeah, this kind of stuff, right? So people, they're obsessed with one thing, keep repeating it, right? Okay. Now, by the way, all this, in case you wonder, what's interesting of all these little problems we've seen since the beginning. This was interesting because all these are classics. Thank you, Eve, for giving us all the classics. She has studied the classics. She gave them to us now. All right, so who then can answer the question, what identified A and B? Raise your hand. Ask somebody.
Okay. Science.
What?
Letters.
What identifies A and B?
Letters.
Letters. You answer letters, and that answers the question, right?
Yes.
Yes. Do you agree?
No.
No. Tell her why not. Oh, you don't know. No, just don't look at the sheet. It's here. Look. What identify A and B? Answer, Audrey. Letters. Why you don't take it?
Because it is a letter, but it's
What is a letter?
A is a letter, B is a letter.
There are letters, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, so? You don't know.
No, I
Okay. Who has a criticism for Audrey's answer? Raise your hand. Nobody? Just raise your hand. Okay, Audrey, check someone. I say, where's the problem?
Did you raise your hand?
Yes. Okay.
So can you explain why? What is the problem? What I said?
You have a problem? Okay? Okay. So So, yes, so who did you choose to criticize your answer?
Nelson?
Yeah, what's wrong with her answer?
They can be other things than letters as well.
So you refuse her answer because they can be something else, yes? Yes? Can A and B be absolutely anything?
Except,
No.
no. No, they cannot.
Well, tell me what is it they cannot be? One thing.
Identical.
They cannot be identical. Is that the only thing you know that is impossible, is that they would be identical, right? Huh?
Yes, that's the only thing.
And do you see indeed the statement, initial statement? Right? Yes, no?
Yes.
So they cannot be identical. Do you agree with that? Huh? That's the one thing we know. Now, what is the question? What identifies A and B? You agree? The person asking that, what does that person want to know?
What A stands for and what B stands for.
Right. And what is Audrey answering?
That they are letters.
Letters. Is there a problem? Do you remember what you told
Yes,
us
you
what they cannot
cannot
be?
conclude. There is no.
Do you remember
There is
what
no
you-
identity.
Don't worry. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's coming. I'm very happy. You look better already. Just hang on tight. But Nelson work a bit. So now you see a problem with
Yes.
Audrey's answer. What's
Yes.
the problem with Audrey's answer?
Because they cannot be identical, and that means they cannot be both letters. Because that would mean they're identical.
So there.
No?
So they cannot be both letters, right? Okay. Wow. Let's breathe here. So, who sees a problem with what Nelson is telling us? Someone, where is the problem?
Guido.
Wrong syllogism.
What?
Wrong syllogism.
Wrong, explain to me why there is wrong syllogism.
We already have an example.
No, I'm not asking you an example. What is wrong in a syllogism? Explain it.
That no any letter is identical.
Nothing in letter is identical,
Yeah,
right? Okay. That's your major?
I'd say
Yes?
yes.
What is a minor?
No, that's the error, not the major, excuse me.
Guido, let's start again. What is a syllogism?
The syllogism is A and B are not identical, major.
Okay, major. A and B are not identical. Do you agree? Huh?
Yes.
Have this from there? Good. Minor.
Letters are identical.
Letters are identical. That would be the minor.
Yeah.
Yes? Do you agree? Where's the problem then?
The result, A and B cannot be identical.
Now, what's the problem already you have?
Because the letters can
Say it again. Start again.
not
A
identical.
and B
Can be different.
can be. Can
Minor
be.
is wrong.
No, no. A and B can be different.
Yes.
Who thinks Guido is lost? Raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Who else wants to give it a try? We went through this problem, the can be problem already. And you can, anyway, who wants to show the problem with Nelson's idea? Nelson, ask someone.
Jacoba?
A and B are letters.
A and B are letters. Is
And
that
it
true?
says they
Is that true or not, Nelson?
Yes.
They're letters. And what did you tell us?
That they can also be something else.
What did he say?
they can't be both letters.
Because they're different. Yeah.
Does that make sense? You
Yeah.
lost?
No, it makes sense, yeah. Okay.
Who wants to identify the problem in Audrey's answer? Remember, I remember you. What identifies A and B? And Audrey says letters. Who sees a problem here? Raise your hand. Would you ask someone, where is the problem?
Francis? Can you tell the problem?
It's a common property.
It's a common property. Do you agree to be letters is a common property?
Yes.
So if you give a common property, do you identify the two things?
No.
We good? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Huh? It's a diameter to the same and the other. This is going to be clear now. It's very important.
What's common property?
Propriété commune. Something belongs to both. By saying letter, yeah. Okay? By saying letters, she tells us what is common to both. Do you agree? Now if I ask you, here, two people, what's the difference? And you tell me they're human beings, are you telling me their identity? I ask you what identifies these two persons, right? A and B. You tell me they're human beings. Are you identifying them? No. You say what is common to them, right? And that's this thing of the same and the other. Very important. Plato we find this, right? When you compare two things, there's always something in common, always something different. If there's nothing common, simply you cannot compare them. Comparing needs something common, always. Tell me if you have a problem with it, challenge it, if you want we can check it out. But you cannot compare two things. That's what you learned when you were a child. Say, do not compare length with weights, right? For example, this table measures 2 meters. This table weighs 5 kilos. How can I compare? You need something common, right, to compare. The second thing, to compare, you need something different. If you don't have something different, you cannot compare two things. It's only one thing. It's an idea of Leibniz. If you cannot find something different between two things, you have to presuppose it's the same thing. I don't know if he speaks to you logically. Unless I know the difference, any difference, two things, there's no two things, there's only one. Principle of sufficient reason. To have two things, I need to have a different criteria. None, only one thing. This simplifies many things, but people says, I'm not sure it's the same thing or different, but simple. Do you know any difference? No, same thing. All right. So in this case, what is the identity? By seeing what is common, you're just telling us the base for comparison, but you don't tell us the specificity. We're good? All right? You agree? Okay. Who can answer the question, the killer question of Silke? Yeah, it's a killer question. Yeah, it's nice. Good. That, by the way, you should be proud of that baby. Look what it's provoking in people's minds. So that's what we had to produce here, a killer question. So, who can answer her? Raise your hand. Check someone's Silke.
Oh, Alan.
They have different symbols.
They have?
Symbols.
They have different symbols. Or they are. They have, right? Okay. Did he answer you?
No.
No. Is that true?
No.
No. Good. Who sees a problem in Ahmed's answer? Raise your hand. Ahmed asked somebody, where's the problem? Oh, he says, what identifies A and B? He says, they are different symbols. Okay? Who sees the problem? Raise your hand. Ahmed.
Your neighbor? Sorry.
Well, it's the same answer as Audrey. She says they are letters, and you say it's different symbols.
Do you agree that you're falling into Audreyism? Or not?
No.
Did you see any difference?
I'm more specific.
You're more specific. Well, let's just check that.
Yes.
Is A a different symbol?
No, I said they have.
Okay, does A have a different symbol?
Yes.
Does B have a different symbol?
Yes.
We use the same criteria for both. Isn't that funny?
Fine.
But I'll tell you the trick.
Okay.
Who knows? How come Ahmed thought he had something more specific, but he did not. And that's a very interesting thing here. Who picks it up? Raise your hand. Ask Ahmed, ask somebody. Where was my mistake?
Sorry.
Who, Lena?
He says it was different.
Yes? And what's, so different, is it adding something or nothing?
It's adding, it means that they're not saying.
It's adding something different or nothing?
Adding something.
Yes. Is it useful, or do we get something with different or nothing?
Yes, we use.
What do we, then why don't you accept it? If different is useful, it tells you something, why don't you accept it? You have a problem? Your toothache? Your tooth is hurting? Your tooth is hurting? That is the way you look. So, who sees the problem? Raise your hand. Elaine, ask somebody, where's the problem?
Classic.
He didn't tell what could be the difference. They are both
Yes.
symbols.
So therefore, to say it's different without saying what's the difference, what's going on here? What's the problem? He says it's different, doesn't tell us what's different.
A common property again.
It's a common property. Now, but what would you say about this word different? What's wrong with the word different?
It doesn't tell anything.
It doesn't tell anything. I call it an empty concept or undifferentiated concept. People use it a lot. What's the difference? What's the difference with this between this and that? Well, it's something else. It's other, right? You hear this? It's other. It's different. It's not the same. And they have a whole synonyms to tell you that. But you told me nothing. By saying it's different, other, you don't say anything. You have to say what words like different, other, elsewhere. You need the content. You need something to give it substance. Otherwise, you're saying nothing, right? Okay? I call it undifferentiated concept. For people that read French, there's these little books called Anti-Philosophe, where we go through this, 15, 20 mistakes we see all the time. That was a classical one. And it's undifferentiated concept. It's other. It's other. Other is meaningless unless you give some content to it. Right? Is that okay, Ahmed? Right? Okay, so let's try again. Who can answer? We're going to just do that today. That's fine. Who can answer Silke's question? Raise your hand. Silke, ask somebody.
Yeah, Francis?
The shape of A contains a triangle, and the shape of B doesn't.
Did he answer you? Or no?
Yes.
I like the shaking of the head. Just for fun. If you say yes, why do you seem so unhappy?
Because I presuppose that an identity is more than a shape.
Okay, it's not shape. Huh? You have something against shapes. Right?
Yes.
That's what's wrong with shapes. Huh? And by the way, I see this a lot, by the way, in classroom. The teacher, okay, children, here's the question. And the child answers the question. That's not what I wanted, I said, well, never mind. The question is what you want, who cares, right?
Yes.
Did he answer your question?
Yeah.
And I always remember once, I was in this classroom and the teacher said, today, she told me, I want to work, the Anderson story, the little girl with matches, I printed that story? The little girl selling matches and she dies at the end. No? You need to run, that's Anderson story? Not so much. Okay. It's a very sad story,
Anderson story?
No, Anderson story.
Anderson.
No, Anderson.
Anderson. Thank you.
You like this Anderson? Story. Yes! Anyway, it doesn't matter about the content, but it's just a sad story, The little girl dying of, alone in the cold, and the teacher, and then so the question is, I ask the kids, like I always say, do you like this story, right? And we go with not. And so what happened is that there was a lot of boys in this classroom, and they didn't like the story. And why they didn't like the story? Because it was, they said there's no action in that story. Yeah, it's true. She stays in the corner the whole story. And then just in the end she dies there, but it's not exactly adventure. And then boys say, "Oh, this is boring. Nothing's going on here, just blah blah chatting." You know? And then as it was 1 hour, and as the workshop was going on, it was a teacher, his face was dropping more and more, And at the end I said, like you, why are you so unhappy? He said, but that's not what I wanted. I said, what did you want? Well, I wanted to speak about tolerance. And this kind of thing. Well, I said, but don't cheat. Next time, then ask a question about tolerance, but don't have your agenda. That looks interesting. Because what happened, they discussed about what constitutes action or not action in the story, which I think, look, it's interesting, it's interesting what constitutes action or not in a story, right? So it's a bit like that. But of course we ask questions very often. Did I say something wrong? Why do you raise your hand?
I have a question for Silke.
Oh, okay. That's an urgent question, right? You get stuck in your head sometimes? Yes. It's okay, so not okay. You see? And that's why I always look at people and say, yes, you see, right? Now, if you did not expect shape, what did you expect? I call this the good student syndrome. And in fact, if somebody said it, you would have said it louder. When the younger, they say it louder, But this was my question! You took my question, right? But you're bigger, so you say it slow. I try to defend with the idea there's no property for ideas, They don't like this. Very young, the kids think there's copyright, there's my right.
You could say I'm a child again, so you're happy.
Oh, this is so nice. I'm touched a bit. Because now you even say it yourself. Yes, so anyhow. So if you didn't expect shape, ask him your question. Please. Ask her.
So what was your agenda? Why didn't you expect shape? What did you expect?
See, she really will ask it. Thank you. So what did you expect?
I expected something really difficult.
Something really difficult. Well, my friend, do you know how long we took to come up with this shape business? About, 1 hour and a half, Wow, what more do you want? Yeah? Something more extraordinary.
Yes.
Do you like excitement in life?
I do, yes.
Yes, see, that's what you're showing us. I want, wow, And by the way, that's another problem I have when I go to workshop with children. Remember the other day, for example, with Kleist, I was on what does how mean? Were you there? No, it doesn't matter. He wanted how, and he had a big existential thing, but we got stuck on what does how mean? Question how, right? And he could never say it, and this happens a lot. And in the classroom, we'll do the same thing. We'll do this. The teachers, they see again, their face drop because the philosopher was coming to the classroom. He said, "Ben, I thought we were going to speak about life, about love, about, and then we are discussing about what how means." I say, but, they think that philosophy is sort of a supplement of soul, like you take vitamins, it's a supplement for the shape. Boring guy, Can you imagine a whole evening dating a guy like that, Shape. Instead of something, wow, what is God of this universe, So you connect, huh? Okay, so much for the excitement. But just for fun, for this poor girl, she has worked hard on this. Who would have another way, and some other distinction? Raise your hand. You have? Wait. Keep your hand up. Check with somebody else. What is identity here? Someone that didn't speak yet.
Olga.
One identifies glasnost.
She See, that's now you're gonna get some excitement.
It's not difficult, but the word
It's not difficult, but nobody knows what it means. I like those statements. Do you know this word? What is it? What does it mean?
Vowels.
Vowel.
Vowel. Vowel. Okay. What is a vowel? Yeah, vowel. Yeah, very nice.
So, no.
And the other one is what? Consonant.
Consonant.
Okay, one is a vowel, one is consonant. Is that more exciting? Is that more exciting? No. Oh, okay. I think you're hard to satisfy, right? Yeah. They told you already?
Yes.
Yes, they told you. Okay, so is that another possible answer? One is a vowel or one consonant or no?
No.
No. Is A a vowel?
Yes.
Is B a consonant?
Yes.
Then why don't you take it?
Yeah, but it's like letters.
It's like letters.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were letters.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's.
Yes, it's like, go ahead. That's interesting. You went down. Yes, what is wrong? Do you suffer from the same thing as your neighbor? You want excitement?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that, by the way, is a big problem. People, they're expecting, pie in the sky, really, and the result is, because of that, you realize that you never answered the question?
No, I want. No.
Just after I let you express yourself. No, do you realize that two things that go very nicely together? At the same time, you expect something huge, something transcendental, something metaphysical, something who knows what, and at the same time, you cannot produce an answer. Do you see how these two things go together?
Yes.
Yes? Can you explain why they go together? No. You can explain why these two things, and it's a very much classical, why these two things go together. Raise your hand. Well, Olga knows. Olga, why?
The second is a reason, and the first is consequence. If you are looking for something exciting, you don't pay attention on simple things.
You heard that?
Yes.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Yes. That happens very often. Remember the first day, I think, I told you about this Purloined Letter story, Edgar Allan Poe story. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? The obvious. I was defending idiocy. It's right there. But because we look, someplace with high expectations and we want to vibrate and all this, we don't see the obvious. It's a very classical thing. And that's why Foucault, Michel Foucault, the French philosopher, he says, he defends the idea that science makes the invisible visible, but philosophy makes the visible visible. It's out of Wittgenstein as well. We want to see the visible. We don't see it anymore. Because or Nietzsche would say, you're looking for, how do you say it in English? All the worlds, just wow, revelation. Instead of saying, reconcile with the earth, what you're stepping on, right? Okay? But you see something's bothering you. What is bothering you?
Well, the obvious is for me the same as the Ahmed argument.
But did Ahmed distinguish both? Did Ahmed distinguish them?
No.
No. Did she distinguish them?
Yes.
So is it the same thing?
No.
No. Did Francis distinguish?
No.
He did not? Do you remember what he said?
Different shapes.
Different shapes. Did he only say different shapes, or he told you the shapes?
He told the shapes.
So did he distinguish?
Yes.
So both Olga and Francis distinguished.
Yes.
So why you look so sad then?
Because distinguishing is not the same as giving an identity.
Really? Well, that's interesting. What's the difference between distinguishing and giving identity? Can you say? Wait, okay, I'll take for I don't know. Well, let me give you a very simple thing that can help you, which is from Aristotle. How does Aristotle invite us to answer? You give a general, concept. We can call, we can call, I think it's gender in English. Genre. Yeah, it's gender. You give gender, not gender in the sense of sexual differences, but gender. Then you make Within this gender you make species. And how do you make species? By giving predicates added to the gender. And within the species you can add, within the species, some other predicate that specifies even more. For example, what is man? Man is an animal, like a number of animals, but how is he specific? By saying he's rational. Man is a rational animal, so it gives you something what is common to a gender, which is animal, but it gives you something specific called species. So a very classical way to give identity is to give what it is with some specific difference. For example, she told you both are letters, because they're vowel and consonants, but one is a vowel, other is consonant. It gives the identity the same way that Aristotle will define the human being.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? But then, why did you think there was a problem? Okay, same thing, right? Exactly. Now, of course, there are different ways to define things. This is one. Another way to define would be to give the function. You know, what is the postman? The postman is defined because he delivers letters in the mailboxes. In this case, I have no species. I give it through the function, right? And by the way, it's an exercise we do sometimes, you can try to do, is to give definitions. It's a very nice exercise. I take something very simple. What is a car? And try to define what is a car. It's very nice, and you see what is the problem. There are different ways to define a car, right? Did you ever do a definition exercise, Eve? Did you ever do such a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, you have done. You see that there are different ways to define, and you have to be open that they're different. Now, does it define or not define? That's okay, but be ready that there are different ways to define, and they went through a different thing because once, if you look at the dictionary, by the way, and you look at A, what is A? Could you get something like Olga saying it's a letter which is a vowel or something like that? Could you imagine that? If
I wasn't paying attention.
yeah, you notice that you're busy, yeah? I'm asking the definition of Olga. A dictionary, it's a letter which is a vowel. So like, could you expect that?
No.
No, you would never expect that. It's too
Yes,
bad we don't.
yes.
Yes, but would you expect to see it's a letter which has triangles in it?
No.
No. What kind of book you could get something like that A has triangles? Do you know?
Creative books, I don't know.
Yeah? Give me what would be one word, could be a book on what?
Architecture.
Architecture. Why not? Where's another one?
Calligraphy.
Calligraphy. A book of calligraphy would be interested in the shape. They don't care if it's a vowel or consonant. They say, hey, you want a triangle? It's A. You want a nice little rounded shape? B, right?
Mm-hmm.
See? So they're not writing the same kind of book. Olga's writing a dictionary, and Francis is writing a calligraphy book. Right? You see this? So instead of being disappointed by one, just think, what are they doing, right? And you like that. And especially since you work with children, it's very important. Make it, what they're saying, instead of saying that's not what I wanted, what are you doing here, right? They're not writing the same book. And it's an image I use a lot. When people speak and say, what kind of book are you writing? Yes? And people write different books. Some write picture books, some write, mathematics books or whatever, right? Feel better? Thank you, Oscar. Yes. Anyway, yeah, I have my empathic side on Saturday, So, yes, okay, so identifies entity, okay? So, now, what you're going to do if either you take one of those two identity, or you have one now that you have to answer her question.
I take the Olga.
Olga. So now write it. Write it, and we move on to the next question. Okay, but just for fun, did anybody have another thing for the identity of A and B? Different still, another kind of book. Ask or ask someone, what is your answer?
Ahmed.
I think have different
No, just not what they cannot. Just tell us, answer. What identifies A and B?
The sound of A and B.
The sound of A and B.
What's the sound of
No, this is nice. You see? You heard? Again, same mistake Ahmed does, right? Undifferentiated concept. Because both they have a sound. Right? Are you surprised that again you fall in the same trap?
Yes.
Yes. It's called lazy thinking, you know? It's lazy, you know, just okay. Do it again. Go with the sound, but tell us.
Okay, because A sounds like A. And
Ahmed. Come on. It sounds like A. And does B sound like A?
No, it sounds
No,
like
B sounds like B. Why? Well, who? Now you see, you want to write a music book, right? You want to write a music book. You see, you write a different kind of book, a music book. But imagine a music where, you know, this note sounds like itself and the other note sounds like itself. What does A, well, by the way, music, you have A and B, right? For people who don't know, I don't know in your language, but in English, you use, you know, you don't use do, re, mi, you know, fa, sol, you use A, B, C, D, right? You know, right? In Persian, what do you use for notes, by the way?
Notes.
For musical notes, what do you use? Say da 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 da. What are the words you put?
Note.
You put note, no, but what do you call them? You see, in English it's A, B, C, D. In French, do, re, mi, fa, sol.
Yes, I know.
What do you use in?
We say no, not.
Do they have names or no names?
There's 7 notes. What do you call 7 notes?
Each note.
Okay, everybody. Okay, wait, stop, everybody. Stop. Hold on. You see, we have a nice problem here. Who wants to question either of our two Persian friends and try to get to understand? You know, imagine like me, you don't understand what's going on. Who is, okay, you have a problem. Let's question. Who wants to question them to find out the Persian musical mystery? Ta-da! Okay. Who wants to do it? Raise your hand. Okay, we didn't do much so far. Yolanda, it's your. Who are you going to ask?
In Persian, what are the names of the musical notes? Like in Spanish is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si.
Yes.
And in Persian?
In Persian, same. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si.
Yolanda, you're brilliant! Same. So, by the way, just for fun, in Russia, what do you use?
The same.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol.
Yes.
And in Holland?
Do, re, mi.
Yeah? So you don't use the English system, A, B, C, D. Yes? What do you use?
Same.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol. So it's only in English that they use these. Oh, in Sarajevo, what do you use?
We don't have music.
Now I understand better. You never studied music?
No,
Really? It's not a popular thing.
no. Very specific.
Very specific. Only in the religious context, right? That they study singing and stuff like that.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you have folkloric music?
Yes.
Do they
Yeah,
use
but
a
not
note
classical-
concept or
not
no?
classical music.
Huh?
Not classical music.
No, classical Arabic music.
I'm not aware.
You don't know anything, okay. What do you use in Norway?
ABC.
Are you okay? You guys are in the English side. Okay, so now we're writing a music book, right? Do you know? Can you tell us something about A and B sound, or no? You just know they have a sound, but you don't know what it is. Can you say something about those sounds or no?
Could say, but
Like you know what he has done with a shape, for example. See, with a visual shape. Can you do it with sounds or no?
probably A you have to pronounce it from your.
True.
You know, you don't. Can people do that? Vocalize later.
I have to use medical, technical.
Oh, you write a medicine book now. Okay, let's hear it. Go ahead. Go medical. Yes.
From deep in the throat.
Okay, which one is deep in the throat? A and B.
B comes from the lips.
Okay, so what's the difference between A and B?
How they originate.
No.
Throat and lips.
You can make a nice sentence.
A emerges from the throat. However, B Images from the lips.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Did you expect that one?
No, it doesn't.
See, third difference. Writing a music book or singing book, right? Funny? We write different books. Okay, who still has a different way to answer that? Ask somebody else.
One is a conjunction and the other is a verb.
What? Throw that again. One is a what?
Conjunction.
Which one is a conjunction?
Conjunction.
No, which?
The first one. The first one.
What is it called?
A.
A is a conjunction.
Yeah.
Like
A book.
No, in English it's called an article. You mean
Excuse me,
grammar?
an article.
Okay, you want to write a grammar book.
Yes.
Okay, and a grammar book A is an article, and B is what?
It's a verb.
B is a verb.
To be.
Oh, you're funny. Who agrees with him that B? Yeah, she thinks it's an animal. B.
I take it, why not?
Now, who agrees with him? B is a verb. Raise your hand. Who thinks it's wrong? Raise your hand. Ask someone, why am I wrong? Keep your hand up if you don't agree with me.
The verb be contains 2 letters.
True or false?
False.
False. The verb in English to be has only 1 letter.
False.
2 letters.
False.
How many letters?
It depends by the writings.
Now in Italy, how many letters is there in B? 6. Are you confused, Guido?
Perhaps, yeah.
Yes, okay, right. It's funny the human mind, how it operates. Okay, just for the fun, since I see you enjoy it. The question of Silke, don't tell her anything. You know, we will come later to pay for it by training into patience. You know, just let her, she'll catch up. Like in general, people come late, just let them, yeah. So, yes. So, who has a last way to answer the Silke question? Silke, ask somebody who didn't speak much, keep your hand up, yeah.
Maria.
Difference between A and B. Yes. A is itself a word, but B no.
Okay, A is the word in itself, B is not, right? Writing a grammar book?
Yes.
Yes.
A book, for example.
Yeah, I know, but what kind of book? It's not a singing book, it's not a calligraphy book, you're writing as well grammar book or English book or a language book, right?
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Did you expect all these differences? No. Just for you we do that. You realize this? Today is Christmas. Okay, alright. So, which one did you choose finally about all this? And we move on.
Olga.
Olga, so you wrote it?
Yes.
Tell us what the answer is.
A is a vowel and B is a consonant.
Good?
Yeah.
That answers, Silke?
Yes.
Good, wonderful. Well, maybe we have time for the second question.
Yeah.
What is the second question?
What does is not imply?
Again?
What does is not imply?
I don't get it.
What does is not imply?
Yeah.
Qu'est-ce que is not
What does expression is not implied, right? Huh? Here, you really didn't get it. Is not, what does is not imply? All right? Good. Did you answer this one?
Yes.
We told it was not important. No, you answered. Yes? You did?
Yes.
Tell us your answer.
It implies a reference to a negation.
Okay? You consider she answered?
To a negation. Negation.
Yeah.
In that?
Silke, do you consider... Wait, don't discuss. Repeat the answer again.
It implies a reference to
Okay, all right.
Negation.
Is not
Yeah.
implies reference to a negation. We good? Silke, do you think she answered you?
Yes.
Yes. Who agrees? Raise your hand. Who does not? Raise your hand. Who's lost? Raise your hand. Why are you lost?
Because I was not paying attention.
You were not paying attention. Is it only now? Or you often disconnected?
Often disconnected.
And you know when you disconnect where you go?
No.
You know what happens in your mind when you disconnect?
No.
You have no clue?
That think of something else.
Yes, something else.
Yeah.
Are you in your own world?
Yeah.
And you know what you call people who live in their own world?
Well.
I'll help you. Princesses. Yes. They make fairy tales. And that fairy tale is all kind of wonderful things happening. And fairy godmothers and princes and castles and oh, you like this stuff, right? And you make up like this story, you know? Yeah, you know that?
Yeah.
Yes, nothing new. All right. Okay. Yes. You like it this way?
Yes.
Yes, so everything's fine. So why do you come here?
Because I don't like it.
Oh, you change your mind?
I changed my mind.
Then why do you do it?
Well, I can't really. I'm not trying to not do it.
Okay, you don't do it, you do it because you don't try not to do it.
Yeah.
You know what that's called? You know what that's called? No? Who's got an insight here? It's interesting the way she describes it. Raise your hand, ask someone. What do you think it's called? Ask someone.
What do you think it's called?
I think it's a tautology. I don't do it because I don't do it.
Yeah, and that's for the formal thing what she's saying, but you know, the attitude it reveals, or the functioning it reveals. Who knows? Raise your hand. Ask someone.
It's lazy.
Laziness. Laziness? Yeah?
Yeah.
You lazy?
Really.
Yeah, really. She's a psychologist. Who has another word for it? Raise your hand. I would call it complacency. You know the word complacency? You know the word complacency? Complacent, someone is nice with himself, you know? I don't feel like doing good. I'm like, you know, I get up when I get up. I do what I do, you know? Right?
Yeah.
Complacent.
Yeah.
You know? No vigor, no energy, just complacent. It's just roller coaster, you know? It's a form of laziness, but it's self-related. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, but as well, complacent if they're happy, you know, I'm fine, you know. I'm doing nothing, I'm fine. Life is good, right? So it's a form of wisdom.
Yeah.
Laziness. You know, I like your predictability, it's very nice. Yes. Yes. Laziness is a form of wisdom. Yes! Of course! And you're all alone. Okay. But what problem can it cause?
Be lazy.
No, to be lazy.
That you don't get.
You don't get? You don't get what?
What's going around?
You don't get what's going around, yes? You live in your own life. And what's the consequence of this?
You separate yourself from the world.
Yes, and when you separate yourself from the world, what happens?
You get lonely?
You get, oh, yes! You get lonely sometimes?
Yes.
Yes. And do you like it?
Yeah.
Yes, you love to be lonely. When you feel lonely, you don't call anybody, you just say, I want to stay lonely, right? Oh, your life is perfect. Huh? Oh, that's great, I'm jealous, you know? Okay, you'll teach me after how to do all this. So, good. So out of this, there's no problem then. It's perfect.
Very perfect.
You live in a perfect world. You know what kind of girl live in a perfect world? Princesses! You know, I finally met a true princess. You know, when we put people living different places, you know, we don't always know why. And we put you in a castle. And I have to tell Isabel, what a genial insight. That's where she belongs, in the castle, right? Yeah? You feel fine there?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Okay, no problem. So, let's get back to our business, right? Questions. What was the question again? Oh, what does is not imply? Imply, answer, is not implies reference to a negation. Right? So, who think it answers? Raise your hand. Who think it does not? Raise your hand. If ask someone why it does not answer.
I think it's not complete.
It's incomplete.
It's incomplete.
What is it lacking?
It's a negation and it's
You don't know. Who has a proof there's something wrong here? Raise your hand. Ask somebody else.
It's not a reference to a negation, it is a negation.
Now, is it just a formal difference, or it makes a substantial difference, or just a formal linguistic difference?
Maybe blah blah blah.
You
I don't
told
know.
me blah blah blah.
I can't pronounce
Okay,
the
so it's
words.
not a substantial difference, it's just a formal,
It's a formal.
linguistic. Huh? But that's always very important, because you know, you always have these people who are willing to discuss, you know, all kind of thing. That's not what it says. I ask, is it a substantial difference? Okay, no, all right? So, who has a problem with still accepting the answer? Raise your hand. Who accepts the answer? Raise your hand. Okay, and Lena, what's wrong?
I'm lost.
Are you in the castle too, or why are you lost?
I don't hear last
The last one.
about why
She says it is